Shalom everyone, this is Watchman Alexander starting the new week off with a new video, and this one is going to be about finances. Now I don't want to talk about tithing, which I know is what a lot of people think when they think finances, but rather I want to talk to you about where you spend your money. Christians really ought to be hiring and buying from other Christians. And this is something that is not happening very much right now. And I think it's sad. I think it's inappropriate. And I think God wants us to change this behavior. We, who have come to Messiah and put our trust in him, are one people. The word says, at one time you were not a people. Now you are a people. In other words, you've come into one kingdom. You have come into Israel. So if you have put your faith in the Messiah, Yeshua, then you are Israel, grafted into the olive tree that the Lord has planted. Well, as part of this kingdom, we ought to be spending our money in the kingdom to help our brothers and sisters and to receive help from brothers and sisters. And like I said, this really isn't happening very much right now. I think there are a lot of reasons why this is not happening, but one of the biggest reasons is convenience. It's just convenient to spend our money willy-nilly wherever we happen to be at the time without thinking about whether or not the business is being run by a believer. Now, how do I know that this is the case? There's statistics on it, and I don't have those statistics in front of me right now, but I have seen them before, and it's something like this. In Muslim communities, every dollar that's spent circulates within that Muslim community about 10 to 12 times before it exits the community. Within Jewish communities, it's not quite as good, but it's still high. It circulates several times before exiting the Jewish community. What does this mean? It means that Muslims are going to other Muslims to do business. Jews are going to other Jews to do business because they're a tribe. They are a community and they want to help each other out. So their first preference before they go to somebody in the secular world is to go to a brother or sister. But in a Christian community, a single dollar doesn't circulate even once. Not even once. In other words, we're just not going to other Christians to spend. We don't even think about it. That's a tragedy, in my opinion. So we need to get up to where the Jews and the Muslims are, because especially these days, as the world is turning against Christianity more and more, as this country has left God, it has decided it doesn't like the Christian message, it has abandoned traditional morality, we should be helping each other out so that we're not struggling. And I want to praise a couple of people in my congregation that have been doing this for us. I've recently been hired by someone who needed some graphics done for him, and then another sister is going to hire me to do a logo for her. And I think this is great. This is what we should be doing. And Amanda and I personally have used a realtor from our congregation, and we're going to use a publishing professional that's now in the congregation. And I think we should especially be careful not to go spend our money at places that we know are fighting against the Lord. So for instance, I won't go to Home Depot because I know Home Depot consistently helps out and supports the gay community. They are very often sending vehicles and personnel to help out at gay pride parades, and they're donating money towards their causes. That's exactly the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish in the kingdom. We're trying to draw people out of harmful lifestyles like that, out of what God calls sin, and into a sinless life that's dedicated to his righteousness. So for me to go spend money at a business that I know is supporting those things is contrary to the whole mission. So I just always give preference to businesses that I know are staying out of the cultural battle. Or even better, I'll give a preference to a company that I know is Christian, like Hobby Lobby, like Chick-fil-A. Those places I know are run by believers and they're putting their money towards good uses, good causes. So I want my money to go there because it furthers the kingdom. We tend to divorce our spiritual thinking sometimes from our practical day-to-day activities, and that should not be the case. Everything that we do has a spiritual significance to it. Everything has some kind of impact on the world. And what is that going to be? Is it going to be a positive impact or a negative impact? We should be thinking about these things. So I want to encourage you to adjust your thinking, make sure you're giving preference to the brothers and sisters that live in your area and who have businesses. Take a little extra time and figure out whether or not the people in your fellowships have particular talents that you could make use of, or have businesses that they've started, and get them to do things for you if possible. We can do this, guys. We can establish new habits. It's not too hard. I know it's possible for us to become like those other faith communities that keep the money circulating within themselves. If you know of any online business directories that list Christian or Messianic businesses, would you please post those below so that people who watch this video can have the benefit of that? I'm sure there are some out there. I just haven't found them myself. But if you know those, please share it with the rest of us. Okay, that's it for me this week, guys. Have a great week. Shalom in the Lord, and I'll talk to you next time.